Joining us now here on the Hill is the Democratic congressman from the state of California, John Garamendi. Congressman Garamendi, thanks for being with us. Appreciate the time, sir. You know how this works. Pelosi, Schumer, Jeffries, they could come out today. They could hold a press conference and say, you know what, we're behind Joe Biden. They could put out a statement and say, all of us are behind Joe Biden. They have not. And you heard what I outlined over there over the last 8 days or so. Why haven't they?
Because it's really going to have to be a decision by the president, who happens to be quite ill at the moment. And that's going to have a piece of this puzzle. That'll be another factor that'll be part of his decision going forward. We'll see what happens. But ultimately, the next 100 days of the campaign are going to be focused on the extraordinary difference between the Democratic agenda and the Republican agenda. Yes, there will be a leader. It might very well be Biden. It might be somebody else on the Democratic side. I doubt it. But nonetheless, the policy differences are extraordinary. And that is going to drive this issue.
You doubt that it will be somebody other than President Biden?
I'm not going to get into that. This is something the president is going to have to work out. He's obviously very ill. He's obviously going to be off the campaign trail during a critical period of time. These are all factors that I'm sure he, Jill, and his advisors are taking into account. Going forward, whomever is leading the Democratic Party is going to lead a very solid agenda for America, and a stark difference from where the Republicans are. Just think about women's issues. Think about the right to choose. All of those issues are going to be front and center, and they're going to be driven by the Democrats. Climate change. There's not even mentioned climate change at the Republican program thus far. So these differences are going to be where this election is going to be fought out.
And I hear you talk about the issues, Congressman, and of course, elections, you always want to talk about the issues, but the real question right now really is the future of the president. And I wonder, you're from California, the biggest name lawmaker, at least one of them, there's a lot in your home state, is Nancy Pelosi. Has she tried to reach out to you, talk to you one way or another? Has she solicited your feedback? What have those conversations been like?
We have had private conversations amongst the Democrats, California Democrats. They are private, and they're not going to be shared with anybody. Pelosi was there, as were nearly all the members of the California Democratic delegation. Obviously, there's concern. We've heard from Adam Schiff. We've heard from others.
Yeah.
There is concern, no doubt about it. Pelosi's comments are private, and I'm not about to share them with you or anybody else.
Understood. I mentioned your state. Obviously, the sitting vice president is from your state. If this ends up being somebody else other than Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, of course, would be considered, maybe even the favorite. But then there's also, for example, the governor of your state, Gavin Newsom, who has a bright political future, many believe. What do you think the process should be if Joe Biden ends up stepping aside?
Well, that remains to be seen. Certainly, Kamala Harris is a quality person. I first worked with her in 1991 when she was the district attorney in San Francisco, and I was the insurance commissioner. We went after the fraudsters, and then she became attorney general, where she went after organized crime. And of course, in the Senate, and now 3.5 years as vice president, both national and international work. So she's very, very well prepared to be a vice president. And we'll see what comes beyond that. However, we need to understand that even whomever it may be, and I wouldn't suggest Newsom, he's going to look at this probably another 4 to 8 years in the future. But right now, we have a great team, and we'll see a great team that's put together critical programs to advance the American economy, an industrial policy, a climate policy, a policy for women. Stark difference from where the Republicans are and what we're probably here tonight.
Got it. Congressman John Garamendi from the state of California, Democrat. I really do thank you for your time, sir, and thanks for being with us here on the Hill.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.